Good day, friends, and what a beautiful day it is. It's a date today, 27th of February, year of our Lord 2019, and it's got to be 18, 19 degrees out there. We're having some absolutely beautiful weather. But anyway, where are we today? New project, just come in this lunchtime. And it's a guitar that's been to a music shop up in Mansfield there. And it's got an electrical problem. Well, electrical problem, there's no output. And they couldn't fix it, and it's come to me. And it came to me like this. Well, not without the cover on, but all the wires are off. Blah, 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 blah. I've taken my knobs off. Don't worry about that. I've got them in the case over there. And the action is horrendous. It's all over the place. The action is far, far too high. There's far too much relief in the neck. Look at the action there. It's about a centimetre. So we're going to sort all that out. And I've told the bloke, I said, right, yeah, I'll sort it out for you, mate. Blah, 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 blah. We'll get the electric sorted, don't worry about that. And I don't even know what's going off with this. I told him I'll sort the electrics out. Also, there's a big lump of wood in there, something to screw the back plate into, and it's too high, so the back plate sticks out above the top. I could possibly show you, just bear with me a second. So there's quite a bit of work to be done on this guitar, and I'm going to do it all because I'll knock that bit of wood out and I'll make it the right shape. And the best thing to do is to show you. It's much easier to show you than it is to explain. And there you go. And there is the plate. With that piece of wood there, look, it's sticking out at the top there, look. So we need to get that sorted out. I'm sure we can sort it out, no problem. Stick a little bit of wood off there. And so that's it, got some electrics, give the guitar a good setup, hopefully the neck will be fine. It's also got a built-in tuner. Never seen that on any of these before, don't see the point of that. Just buy a tuner for 10 quid, stick it on your headstock. You know, I'm not really into this kind of gubbins. It takes two AA batteries, yeah, two AA batteries, or two AAA batteries. We're not going to get anything because it's not pulling anything out. I would have thought that would pick up the vibration. Obviously it's not for some reason, so it must be wired into the pickups or something. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to take the strings off, we're going to get the pots out, and we're going to do a rewire. I will come back, show you the progress a little bit later. So, first things first, neck off, and get this piece of wood clamped in properly. I will touch this up with some paint as well. I've got some red paint, but I'm just going to clamped in for the time being. I've filed it down so it's the right height for the control plate, so it gives us something to screw the control plate into. Here are the pots hanging out, and I can probably show even better now the state of the back of them pots. You never like to see big honks of melted solder on back of pots. It's pretty horrible. So I'll tidy all that up, get the wires off, get some fresh wire on there, get it all tidied up, get the job done properly, and the job should be a good one. The neck itself, it had a stupid amount of relief in the neck. I've just gone on there with 4mm truss rod adjuster, just gave it a quarter of a turn, and it is straightened right out. Can you see? You should be able to see it down there. See where you are, you should be able to see there. Nice and not super straight, but you know, we will get it there, and there you go, just like that. It's a mistake I do, by the way. You know, when I'm filming, it's the lens over there that's looking at me, but I look directly at the screen. So I've done the same sighting that as well. I'm sighting it, or I'd sight it, and it's not right because I should be pointing it at the lens, which is there. So you get there. But anyway, the truss rod works, which is fantastic. Nice, thick piece of rosewood. I love to see a thick piece of rosewood on top of a neck, I do. Don't like these wimpy little veneers they put on them nowadays. Good thick piece of rosewood, looks fantastic. So, decent entry-level bass, this. Just because it's entry-level doesn't mean it's bad, doesn't mean it'll sound bad. It'll play absolutely fine, I'm sure. It just needs a little bit of TLC, so I'm going to let that glue in, wait for that to set. Once it's set, I'll get it painted up, we'll get all these pots stripped, we'll get some new wire on there, and we'll start getting it all back together and getting it set up. Just want to show you this volume pot. I don't need to say anything, do I? So these are the same two pots, and I've cleaned them up. And first, the tone one. I think you'll admit that looks a lot better. clean the lugs up as well so we can get some solder in there. In fact, the third lug is not used. And the volume one and the earth. Third lug we've got on the earth there. And I've cleaned these two lugs up as well and the top. There you go, I think the grill looks a lot better. Now the thing is, I don't know if he's scratched or not because I was unable to test them because we had no sound coming out of the guitar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with some service oil switch cleaner and we're going to spray some inside anyway. A couple of sprays in there and just we're going to work our in. And if they were crackling before, they're not going to be crackling now, they're going to be absolutely fine. So switch cleaner in that one, some switch cleaner in this one. Fantastic, same again. Just work it in there. We can get some down the shaft if we want to, that should work its way in there anyway. That one feels really, really nice. The tone pot, volume pot feels a little, oh, it's loosened up now. Felt a bit stiff, it's loosened up right now. So there you go. So, looks a lot better. So now I can start, I can put them back in. We'll get some wires on there. I'm going to snip all these wires that's already in there, clean up all the ends, and we are going to redo the lot. I'll come back and show you how that went in a bit. Not the best camera angle, but swiftly moving on. I've just sprayed the fingerboard with lemon. What you know is lemon oil. It's actual mineral oil, and that will treat the fingerboard. And any muck on there, it will float off, all being well. I'm just going to leave this on 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 10, 15 minutes, whatever, just to soak into the wood. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting for this to soak in, blah, 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 I will polish frets. I've not checked frets for level. I imagine they'll be pretty okay. I can actually do that now. But I'm not being commissioned to do any fret work. I'm expecting them to be fine anyway. I don't think we'll have any high frets. It's a bass. And the strings that much higher on a bass anyway. If I have one a little bit, tiny bit higher, it's not going to make any difference. It's a beginner bass. And they're fine. We've got two with a little tiny rock on there. It's not going to alter anything. They're fine. So, give it a nice spray. Plenty of lemon oil. I bought Kaiser. I do like Kaiser, I think it's nice, but I just use a random, I buy it in bulk, I buy a litre. It's half a litre pot at a time, so a lot cheaper. And I just kept this bottle because it's got a spray. It means I can just spray it out rather than just wipe it on my cloth, so that works. That's good. It's pretty much all the same stuff. It's formulated, especially formulated for rosewood and ebony fingerboards, and that's it. That's the lemon oil on there. I'm going to let that do its work for 10-15 minutes, like I say, and I'm going to polish the frets. And I will just do that fret guard. Got the fret guard. What I'm going to do is just polish the frets. Really easy polishing frets. Take some finest grit steel wool, fret guard on there so we don't cut into the wood. It's just a matter of just polishing over the frets, like so. Won't take me long to do this. It will take the oil longer to soak in than it will for me to polish the frets, so I'm going to crack on with this. Let the oil do its work, wipe it off, I'll come back, we'll get some strings on and I'll come back and show you more or less when we're just about at the end. So moving on, you see I've moved the camera and I'm just getting the guitar set up and doing, I'm going to do the radius on the bridge, which is miles away from where you are right now, take my word for it. But I've got my tuner out and I thought I'll just get it in close to tune. And I thought, oh, it's got a built-in tuner, let's check the built-in tuner. And the built-in tuner is working perfectly. I've managed to suss out where the wires were. One wire goes to earth and the other wire goes to the input wire, which is a middle one on the volume lug, middle lug on the volume. And yeah, working fine. So what I'm going to set about doing now is I'm going to set the radius at the bridge. By the radius I mean I'm going to get it to match this radius here. And I don't know what radius it is, and I'm going to measure, probably going to be something around about a 14. Could be a 16. So I'm going to take a 14-inch radius gauge and just check where we are. Probably going to be a 16. And there is a 14. Oh, it looks to be a 14 exactly. That was very 14. 15, try 16. and I think it's a 14-inch radius, so I'm going to set this at 14 inch. And how we do that is we set the height on the two outside ones, which is too high at the moment. I'm just going to leave the guitar there. I'm going to pick up a set of Allen keys, turn off my phone because I keep getting messages every 2 minutes. I'll just turn the sound off. And let's have a look there. Size Allen key we're going to be looking at. That size exactly, which is brilliant. So I'm going to be looking for action of about 3mm on the 12th fret of a low E, 2.5mm on the high, on the high E, on the G. So where are we there? Well, we're about 5mm. So what I'm going to do is lower this saddle right down, and I mean right down. And I've not checked the neck for relief yet, so I'll check that in a minute. I imagine it's a 34 scale, but let's just check the action there. Okay, the action is at 3.5. We need to come down a little bit more on the saddle. These saddles are really, really high. In fact, they're all the way to the top. We're not going to go right up there. We're going to bring it right down to about 1mm off the bottom. And that will be as low as I really want to go. Can't see the tuning on there, is that F? There you go, that's about right. We can check the height. I could always straighten the neck anyway. The height is still 3.25, so I can't really go down any more on the saddles. So the only thing I can really do now is straighten the neck out, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to alter the truss rod, because I can't go any lower than that. We could shim the neck. I'm not going to go to that trouble of shimming the neck. I'm going to get the action reasonable. So let me take a not straight edge, base one, and we'll measure it for a 34. Or 35, so 35. We've got quite a lot of relief in this, so what we're going to do is we are going to straighten that neck. And to straighten it, I'm going to tighten. And I'm going to have this neck more or less straight. 35-inch scale length. Did I say 33 earlier? Okay, still got too much relief in there. Going to give it another quarter turn. And that looks pretty okay. Let me check the height. And it's a learner base, and we have got to 2.75mm. That's perfect on the low E. So we're there on that one. I'm going to do the high E now. I'm going to get that down to about 2.5. Once that's low enough, we're going to take the radius gauge and we're going to sit the radius gauge underneath the strings. And I'm going to get the bottom of each string to sit on this radius gauge, and we'll have the strings matching the radius of the fingerboard there. So I'm going to crack on with that, come back soon. So this is a little bit better. You can see where we're working now. So I have the G and the E set where they need to be. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to set the radius properly on the fingerboard, on the bridge. I'm not doing the intonation just yet, we're just going to set the action. So what we're going to do is, because this string and this string is in the right place, what we're going to do is going to place a radius gauge underneath, and now we can drop these strings onto the top of the radius gauge, and that radius there will match the fingerboard. So, get this out of the way for a minute, and you can see what I'm doing, because these are stupidly high. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. Now this string's under tension, so it's a little bit more difficult to get them loosened, but we will get there. So you can see what I'm doing, I'm just lowering each string. We'll come bring them back to tension soon. And once that's done, we can set about sorting out the intonation. So now we're going to be a little bit closer. I've also not set the pickup height yet. I've got the pickups right at the top of where they need to be. So we're still above there, and we're still, no, we're not doing too bad. Actually, that's a pretty good guess. Right. Pretty good. That's good there. And that's pretty good there. I think we're pretty good there. So let's have a look where we are. That's quite nice. We're going to cut a tad on this corner on this side, just to have them straight. I'm quite happy with that. This side again. I think we're just about there. And that really is pretty good. So let's have a look at tuning. Pretty good. So now we're going to check the intonation. I'll turn this tuner off because I'm not using it. And what I think I'll do is just get a better reading. I'm going to plug the bass into my tuner and get the intonation set. We've already got the action set. Set the intonation. Once that's done, we're pretty much done. Okay, let's see where we are. 12th fret, that's set okay. D string, okay. G, very good. E string. So the intonation is absolutely bang on. So we now have the intonation set, we have the radius set, we have the action set at the 12th fret. I'm just going to check the action again. We are at, oh, we're actually quite low. We're 2.5 mil on the low E. We can get that a little bit higher, and we are at about 2 millimeters on the high E, on the G. So we'll bring that a little bit higher, but that is a wonderful action. I'm going to check the relief in the neck. We have only a little relief in there. I am going to put a little bit more relief in there, so we're going to go a quarter turn back. That should give us a relief I want, and then that will alter the action at the 12th fret, which will make us right. And that is a beautiful amount of relief here. By eye, I would say 1/3 of a millimetre at the 9th fret, and I'm well happy with that by eye. Again, I'm going to measure the action at the 12th fret, and we are now 2.75 millimetres. I'm really happy with that. And we are about 2.3 millimetres on the G. I love that action. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set the pickup height. And again, I've already got these maxed out, so I'm going to take it down a little, we'll press the strings in. And I'm going to do this by eye. And I'm pretty much liking that. Do the same here. By eye. And I'm liking exactly where that is. That is the bass now set up. I'm just going to bring that pickup back up just a tad here on this side. And now I'm thinking, that is pretty good. I'm quite liking that. Plug it into the amp, make sure everything's working. It is a guitar amp, but it's just to get a sound. There you go. So there you go, we have the bass working, volume. A little bit of tone, so that's it. The amp, the bass is working, turn the amp off, got everything working fine, tuner's working, that is all done. So I'm going to change the camera angle again. I'm going to pick the guitar up, I'm going to change the camera angle, I'm going to show you what we've done. We'll get the backing plate back on there, we'll get the truss rod cover on, and the guitar is just about ready to go. Okay, here is the bass all done, and the tuner is working. Brilliant. I've just had my tuner plugged in and used this tuner, and they're both saying exactly the same. And I will give you an A. There you go, perfect. So that's all fired a dandelion. So let's explain what we've done. Well, the electrics are all over the place. I've redone the electrics. I've also recut the block that was holding in the cover plate. I took it out, filed it down, glued it back in, painted it up, painted all around the edges of the pick guard as well, not the pick guard, the control guard. I've resoldered all of the joints, some new wire in there, everything's been soldered neatly. I removed all the old big blobs of solder, so that is really neat in there. Really happy with that. Volume works, tone works. I've set the radius on the bridge, I've lowered the action at the 12th fret, I've straightened the neck, I've polished the frets, treated the fingerboard. I've not recut the nut is fine as it is, but like I say, I've reset the truss rod as well. We have an action of 2.75 on the low E at the 12th fret here, and on the G about 2.3, 2.4 millimeters. Perfect action. Even for a novice, it's a perfect action. All I have to do is put the cover plate back on. You'll notice I have drilled a hole in there for the cover plate, blah 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 blah. So I'm going to get that on as we are talking. But that is all of the work done. I've only got 2 screws to that cover plate. I will dig one out of my parts drawer in a moment. But you'll see that the cover plate actually sits flush to the body now. It's not sticking out on one side like it was when it first came here. We'll just screw these in. You don't need to see them. Take my word for it, I'm going to put a 3rd screw in there. You know, didn't get around today by telling lies. I'll tell you that for nothing. I'll tell you that for now. So there you go. So the cover plate is nice and straight. I think you'll see that, but it's not sticking out there. Absolutely beautiful, sitting nice and flush. Blah 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 blah. So that is it. Ashton AB2 bass. It is what I would call a something else I've done as well. I've put put strap pins on. I've reinforced the holes with some dowel. We've got 2 strap pins on there really tight. A second hole have been made there for the one because the roll's too big. Well, I've made it the right size now, so that hole has become defunct. I'm not filling it in or anything. It'll be fine like that. But that is it. The bass is set up. So this is me, Victor Christian, signing off. As this project is finished, you can check me out at fretfriend.co.uk. My website is on there. It's not finished yet. It's just a temporary website, but it will be being updated in the coming weeks. My wife has helped me build it. Oh, in fact, my wife has built it. I need to go and tinker with it now, decide what more details I want putting on there. There's a lot more details putting on there, some better photos, but it's fine as it is. If you want to check, me out in depth, you need to go to facebook.com. Go to facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I'm Victor Christian. I'm your fret friend. Till next time, boys and girls. God bless you. Be good to each other, and I will see you soon.